Hello YouTube, Asuma here with another episode of my Hermitcraft LP. So in the last episode we built that very basic slime farm, and we also went to the Nether and built a Nether wart farm, and that thing is not finished because it's made out of glass panes, and although ghasts won't track us through the glass panes, they can blow it up with their ghast balls, so it's quite likely at some point a stray ghast ball will hit it and blow it all up. So that's one job we've got to do. Probably later in this episode I'll get round to that, but at the moment I have another project in mind, and it's another farm again. We're still making lots of farms and getting ourselves set up. So I was in the live stream with Biffa the other day, with Hypno, and yeah, we started work on a tree farm. In fact, we built two of them, and one of them hasn't been finished, but this first one is mostly done. So what I want to do in this episode is continue working on this place, and as you can see we've just got a basic building and the basic farm set up on this side, and there's a lot more work to be done on this one. But as well as having the farm built, we need to build a sort of building in front of it, make this thing look good, because at the moment it's very bare bones. So I'm thinking we're going to build a pathway from here down to the front of the building. We're going to put up a shelter, some chests for storage, and yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done here to make this look nice and less bland like it does at the moment. So I'm going to get my resources together, and the first thing I'm going to do is start work on the entrance and make this path go straight into the tree farm. As I've been working on the front of this building here, I've been getting a lot of ideas for how I want this entrance area to work, so I thought I'd share them with you. The first thing I want to do is with the path. Originally I wanted it to go straight across, but because of this drop collection point it would probably mean we'd have to build a ladder leading up to the path, and then there'd be a hole in the middle of the path, and I don't think that would look very good. So I figured the path could go left and right, and then when it goes down a little bit we could have a storage area, some chests on either side. Then the path can lead up to the entrance of the tree farm and also down to the collection point. And there's not a lot of space to do that with, so that might be a tricky one to do. And as well as that, I also wanted to make the outside of this building with leaf blocks, which might have to take a compromise because of how things are going to be on the inside as well. But then up the top here, and I might have to raise all of this wood up one block I think to have enough room, I want the roof of that building to be made out of grass, and then I want to put down some bone meal and have grass and flowers, and also two trees, one on either side, and hopefully big ones like over there. And yeah, as you make your way up to the entrance of the tree farm, it's going to be slightly disguised by these big trees, which I think will give it a real nice look. So that's what I want to do with the entrance of this place, and I'll probably end up copying it on the other side. And then between here I want to do something a little bit different. I'm thinking of putting a river running between the middle of them and having a walkway across the top, and I can't really give you more details than that, but I kind of think it would look really cool, and I think it's because we've got all this redstone running down the side, and it's kind of industrial looking the way it repeats itself, and then just having a river between that, for me, I don't know, it looks good in my mind. So when we get round to building that, hopefully it will turn out how I see it now. I'm trying to design the entrance to this place, and it's become really difficult with the limited amount of space that we have. And this is the dirt patch that I have at the moment, and that's really not good enough. I wanted one that was a lot bigger. And the path down here as well can only really go down and not back up to the top there. So it comes down to the collection area, but then this middle bit here will have to branch off left and right to get into the tree farm. So what I'm thinking I need to do is actually redesign the front of this and also the entrance. I think it might be best if this path continued straight along here and met the tree farm at this level and the entrance was just here. Although saying that, that means they're going to walk right into a hole, so I'm going to have to rethink that a little bit as well. But yeah, that's the general idea. I think I'm going to move the redstone underneath the entrance of the farm and play around with that and see what I can do. This entrance is turning out to be real difficult with the amount of space that I have. So I got the path how I wanted it to be, and then at the last moment I realised that this needs to be at least one block or a half slab higher, otherwise the water's just going to flow straight out. So that sort of ruined that, because if I were to raise this I'd have to raise everything else, and then it would all become uneven again. So what I'm thinking of doing at the moment is putting the path just on this side, and then that should give the area over there a lot bigger to put our grass down and grow trees on, and the path will just go straight down like it does at the moment, go to the left and go to the collection point, and then go up to the front here and go across here as well. And it might be a bit of a squeeze to do that as well, so I'm going to give that a try and see what happens. Building the path on the one side here was not going very well at all. There wasn't really any space for what I needed, and then it occurred to me we should have the path in the middle. So that can go out to this bit over here, and then it can branch off to either farm, and from there you can get to the entrance of the farm or down to the collection point. So this is just a mock-up, and I'm sure it's due to change, but that's the general concept, and I think it's going to work because it gives us so much more space to work with. And now we can put that grassy area up the top here with some trees, and we've got plenty of room below it for some storage. And it does mean that things are going to have to change with the river here. I think I said I wanted to put a bridge going all the way down there, but now what I want to do is just have the river flow underneath the path, and then it can go all the way down here, and then we've got a nice view of it from this point. This is developing really nicely. We've now got the space in front of the tree farms for all of the grass, and then the path in the middle dips down a little bit so we have a nice view over the river. And then there's plenty of space around the front here for a decent entrance, and this is what I'm going to be working on next, this path and the storage area and filling in these spaces. I think I'm going to do it with glass and then put some other building materials in there as well. And then there's this bit over here which I really like. We've got these iron bars as like a grid to hold off the water as if it came from another sort of water system, and originally when I put that down the water was flowing out from underneath, which looked really good, and I have considered that I might want to raise this up one block so we can have that flowing water reach out to the edge and then drop down into the still water. But that's something I'll concentrate on later. I'm going to start off doing the room down here now, so we want to put in some storage as well, and as I said, get some glass blocks here so you can look into it from above. So let's take a look. I started off by building this area over here where I've used glass blocks as well, and I wanted this place to have a look that was driven by its purpose rather than for aesthetics. So this would be like a work area for the river. We've got some levers on the wall there, and imagine that it'd be like they control the gate or something along those lines. And I put down some mossy cobblestone next to the river, which gives it a look of wear and tear in some sense. But down here I've gone for something really basic with the wood and the cobblestone. These are materials I don't often build with, but in this case I think it looks alright. And we've got the stone slabs leading down to the collection area, which is the last thing I've got to work on. And I'm going to put the storage along the side here. It didn't really feel right trying to fit it in this area here, so I figured we could put some chests on either side, and then behind that we have to fit in the redstone, which is one of the next things I'm working on as well, is wiring up the redstone. And that means I'm going to have to redesign the front of this building a little, and that's something I wanted to do anyway. I've been looking at this for quite a while now, and it's starting to look rather bland, especially the front here, so I might rework a lot of this. I'm thinking I might bring some of the stone bricks up to the top and then have the glass window lower down, but at the moment I'm going to work on those two things, the redstone and the storage. The storage and drop collection area is now complete, and I feel like I've done a really good job on this. We've got jack-o'-lanterns underneath these chests, jack-o'-lantern down here to illuminate the water. We've got cobblestone behind the chest so you can see a bit of grey back there. But this is the bit that I really like. I've used an upside down stairs here, and that allows the drops to come all the way to the edge here and then drop down into the next stream below. And I've used the same stairs up the top here. You can see the texture is slightly different, and that's so that we can open the top chests. I would say that I've completed the front of the tree farm, but it feels like something's still missing, and maybe I need to add some more detail or different materials here. But anyway, the stone brick extends itself over the front here, and now we've got a glass roof for down below. And if we go down there, I've extended the wood theme round to the entrance of the tree farm, and we've got these little entranceways like this using half slabs and stairs. And then we've got this lapis block here to signify it controls the water, and I've wired up all the redstone below, so that now works. And now what I'm really left to do with is to build the same thing again on the other side. And I still want to work on the front here. It feels like it needs something else, but I don't know what that is at the moment. And I've added a small detail in that you might find interesting. It's very simple, but I don't know, it kind of adds a lot to it, I think, and that's just to replace what was the normal wood block below with a darker one, and it makes it look like the water's stained the wood, which is a nice aesthetical touch to have. Alright, the other side is now done, and it's exactly the same. I've just mirrored it, but we'll have a look anyway. And there you go, you can see it's all the same. The redstone's the same as well. I've just finished wiring that, and it all works. So I really like the view that we have from here, where you can see across to the other side. This is a nice little detail to have, I think, and there's only one problem with it, which is that block there that's obscuring the view. So we can actually remove that quite easily just by raising these stairs. And as well as doing that, the last thing that I want to do is place some saplings down the front here and grow some big trees in front of the farm. And that's all I'm going to be doing for today. I know this isn't finished yet, but I'm not sure what I want to do with this side, because we were going to grow different trees in it and have different size roofs, but then this doesn't yield a lot, plus I feel like we should have a different design for the different types of trees, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, so I'll leave it for now. But one thing I do want to change about it is all of this grass. I think I just want to have a row of dirt where the saplings are planted, and then put down another material to distinguish it, so the other players know where to plant the saplings. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change these steps, put the trees in front, and then we'll have a look at that and move on to a different project. There we go, that's looking a lot better now. It took me a long time to grow these trees. I kept trying to get tall ones like over there, but it didn't happen, so I thought I'd just leave it like this for now and come back to that another time. But yeah, I've used some bone meal on the grass, and I think that's like the finishing touch, that is. It looks really nice like that. In fact, I think we need a bit more over here. Yeah, there we go, and there as well. And yeah, I've also fixed the stairs, so now the view down here is a little bit better. And that's all I'm going to do on the tree farm project today. We'll come back to that another time, and now I think I want to head over to the Nether and work on the Nether wart farm. Before we head over to the Nether, I thought I'd show you a few things around the spawn village that have changed. And at the moment, Static's currently working on the skeleton farm. He's trying to improve that, because the occasional skeleton, when it fell down on this block, would actually die. So hopefully he'll be able to fix that. And he's also built a Smurf farm, which is his own design. And if you want to know more about this, you can find a link to his channel in the description box, and he's got a tutorial on his channel on how to build this. And as I said, it was his own design. It's basically a farm for seeds and flowers. So you come under here and you spam lots of bone meal into the ceiling, and when you've done that, you hit the switch, and then the water's going to flow and bring all the drops to the end here. And we've only got on a few things this time, so it might not be finished yet, because normally you get a lot of things from that. But anyway, the other thing that we've done as well is built a message board, and that was actually built where the old Smurf farm was. So we just tore that apart and then put up this basic community board, which is just around the corner here. I'm not really sure if I like how it looks. I don't think I showed it to anyone yet, so I haven't got a second opinion. But there's a chest with some signs in, and then people can put up signs and leave messages for each other. And you might have noticed that I've gone for the same thing as my house on the other side. We've got the wood, the fence posts, and the light wood behind it. But anyway, I'm now going to get my materials together and get prepared, and then head over to the Nether and sort out that Nether wart farm. Okay, I'm finally at the Nether. I had a lot of trouble getting here. I got all my materials and resources together, and then when I got to the Nether hub, I went in the wrong direction and walked over a bit where a ghast had blown up the netherrack, and I fell really far down and landed right next to a lava lake and died. And then it took me ages to get back down there because there was no path, and every time I tried to jump parts of it I'd die. But when I got my items, it turns out none of them had gone in the lava lake, which was quite fortunate. But anyway, we're here at the farm now, and it appears to have grown to full capacity. Let's have a look. Yeah, I can pretty much tell. I think all of them have grown. So I guess we can do a test and see how many we get on a full harvest. Now I'm not sure if when you harvest one fully grown nether warts, if you get a certain amount or a chance of getting up to 3 or 4 or something like that. So this number could be a variable each time. I still haven't added that extra repeater yet, so there's another job that I need to do. So yeah, full harvest, how much do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 stacks of nether warts and 20 extra. I think last time we done this we got 4 and 16 or something. But there you go. Anyway, I am going to start... Oh yeah, we've got these ones here as well. Well, there's something I've got to fix. I almost forgot about that. So, okay, I think we picked them all up. So another 19. But yeah, there's something there I've got to fix. And then I'm going to start replacing all the glass panes with nether brick posts. And another thing is that I can actually extend this thing further downwards. I think up the top there is near the bedrock level on the ceiling, but I think we can keep going downwards as well because we're quite high up at the moment. There you go, you can see we're at Y79, so if we ever wanted to extend this farm we could actually extend it downwards as well. I've now filled in all of this cobblestone where the nether warts used to land on the gap with the glass paint in the netherrack, and when I step back and look at it, it looks really quite bland, and I need to change this, but we're going to put in some netherrack posts on the side, but I get the feeling it will still look bland, so I'm going to think about it while I put those posts in, and maybe I can come up with a pattern or some sort of design to put in with this cobblestone and make it look interesting to look at. I've replaced the sides with nether posts, and for the middle I wasn't too sure what to do, but it got stuck in my head that it was 5 blocks wide, which meant we could do... Is that a ghast? That we could do letters. Oh, he's going away. So yeah, I went for the word wart, but we didn't have enough space, and what we're standing on right now is sort of a netherrack frame, and I was going to replace that with an entrance building to the farm anyway, but if we removed it all, it would be the same height as down there, and I think that would give us enough room to put in the letter T as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but one of the things I want to do is change the nether brick on the wart letter. Although it looks decent, it kind of blends in with the side a little, so I need a different material and a different colour for that. So here it is. I swapped around the nether brick and the cobblestone, and that made all the difference. It now looks so much better, and I'm really pleased with that. But yeah, I've now got quite a lot of things to do because I want the whole word to be visible, and one thing I want to do is actually move all the letters down 1 block because I want a row of nether brick like we have between each letter. I want to have one of those at the very top, and that's been winding me up for a little while. So I'm going to do that, and then we want the T to be visible as well. So at the front here we're going to have a load of flat land and then a big staircase leading down to underneath the T to the entrance of the farm, and that means I'm actually going to make the farm bigger by expanding it downwards and adding a few more layers. And then when I've done that I want to work on these sides, and here we go. This is what I've been theoring. We no longer have that nether brick. There we go, I've got to go check and see if I've got a ghast here. We no longer have that nether brick frame, so that doesn't protect us from ghasts, but at least the farm is protected. And I didn't get a tier that time. I think I've actually got 2 already. There we go. I should probably put them in a chest. And yeah, those cobblestone things, those curves on the side, I want to make them a lot bigger, and then terraform the netherrack around them to sort of match up with the slope that they have. Okay, I've now added the row of nether brick at the top, and every letter's been moved down 1 block, and that looks so much better. And I've started building the stairs that I want to lead down to the bottom of the farm, and if we go in here you can see I've hollowed out, and now I've got to build these extra 3 layers I think there is, so that's going to take me a bit of time. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that we might want to make the sides here wider, so we have the staircase going down all the way next to this cobblestone wall here, even though it wouldn't actually lead to anything directly in front of it. So I might put a small storage area somewhere in here, like it could level off at this height, and then it could turn right under the cobblestone here and have a little storage area there, or something like that. Maybe a brewing stand would be a good idea since it's next to the wart farm. But anyway, I'm going to continue with this and build these layers in here next. The bottom 3 layers are now complete, and I've been working on the pulse lengthener that's going to power all of the pistons. And originally I wanted to do a circuit with a monostable and an RS NOR latch built in together, and whenever I try and build that I have no luck whatsoever, so I've had to choose something that's not as compact. In fact, this isn't really compact in the slightest. But how this works is when we press the button which is on the other side of that block, we're going to power the redstone and power this first block. Then we have a line that runs down the middle of all of this, and the repeater is just to extend the signal for this last block, and that goes all the way down to that block in the end, which has a torch on the other side, so we'll turn that off when the signal reaches this block, and that powers all of the pistons on the farm. So when this block is powered, it runs through the repeaters and power the next block, and it does that going all the way around the outside and back down the other side. And each time it powers a block, it also powers the wire in the middle, which continues powering this. So when we press this, the length is going to be a lot longer, and I've tested this. It has plenty of time for the drops to fall all the way from the top down to the bottom. There we go. And now there's quite a bit of time before it activates again. There you go. I've made the curves at the front here out of cobblestone a bit bigger and extended the wall down the side. I've also got these steps over here now, and I plan on doing the same thing on the other side as well. But unfortunately I have to stop here because I've run out of cobblestone, and it's going to take me quite some time to get enough ready to continue this project. So we'll save this for another day. But my plans at the moment are to build either a storage room or a potion room on this side, and the other one on that side over there, so we'll have a doorway on the opposite side as well. And I feel like I need to bring some detail to these cobblestone walls as well, so I might add some mossy cobblestone, or perhaps remove 1 or 2 blocks and behind them have some netherrack set on fire or something along those lines. So we've got one more thing to do before this episode is over, and that's wait for all these nether warts to grow to full, and when they're all fully grown we're going to harvest this and see how much we get. Okay, it's time to harvest. I think all but 1 or 2 have now grown to full, so there we go. And yeah, the pulse is definitely long enough. In fact, it could be a little bit shorter, so that's something I might change. There we go, that's a lot of nether warts. So we've got 7 and 19. I think that's exactly what we got. No, we got 6 and 19 before. Oh, it doesn't matter, I can't remember. Anyway, one more thing that I want to do is actually show you the replanting technique, because I got a comment on the last video. Someone thought it might be hard to do, and it's actually not. The best way to do it is to come to the top first, so that when you want to go down you can just let go of shift, like that, and then you're not going to fall off the ladder. So, we'll go around in a circle. The ones in the corners can usually be a bit tricky. Like that, just slightly out of range. Again, it's the ones in the corners that are always a bit difficult to get, but once you get the technique going you can see it's quite easy to replant. And you can do all of this in a minute or so. Well, actually, now that I've expanded the farm it will probably take a bit more than that. But anyway, there you go, there's the technique. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.